friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations, and I'm Nova, and I am so happy to see you today. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope that you and your loved ones are taking care the best that you can. I hope you're having a fantastic week so far, and I hope that you have gotten some crafty time in, whether that's crocheting or knitting or loom knitting or painting or any of those good things, any type of crafty bits. I hope you've been able to make a little time for it. If you haven't, I really hope that you can make some time this week or this weekend if that is something that you're wanting to do. But I hope that you're remembering to set aside some time just for you, just for things that bring you joy, just for things that make you happy. Not because you have to do it, not because you have to do it for somebody else, not because it's a responsibility, but just for the sake of enjoyment, for the sake of fulfilling yourself. I hope that you make that time. I hope you make that time. So, today I have something cute to show you. I have been in the Easter makes, spring makes kind of vibes. I know it's kind of funny because it's literally the beginning of March, or I guess halfway through March at this point. And, you know, Easter is weirdly early this year being in March. So I'm just like full force jumped into spring. And in my mind, it is spring now. I live in Texas. It is warm outside anyways, so we don't really get the seasons the way that you get in some other places. Where I'm from, which is up north, I'm from Michigan / actually I was born in Ohio, so I lived in Ohio when I was really little. Up till I was like 8, I lived in Ohio. I shouldn't say really little, but either way, I was used to having all 4 seasons, and, you know, March would definitely not be spring, but it seems to me that with the way of the world, it kind of is spring. But then again, it snowed randomly 2 nights ago in Michigan, so who knows? The weather has been so weird. Anyways, guys, I have been in the spring mode, and there's this phrase I can't think of, but something about a spring chicken. Well, I made a chicken. So this pattern is so cute. It is a granny square pattern, or a granny square chicken. You make 2 granny squares and then you sew them together and add these little embellishments to make it into a chicken. Isn't this so cute and so unique? I love this. I saw this and I was like, I have to make it. So this is a pattern. Let me make sure it gets nice and focused for you guys. This is a pattern by Sweet Softies. Is it still focused? They have it for free on their blog and also on YouTube if you prefer a tutorial. There is a pattern for the granny square itself, which is free. I don't remember the name of it, but it's like, Spring Court Square. Spring Court Granny Square. I remembered it because of ACOTAR. If you guys read the Court of Thorns and Roses series, I remembered the name of it because it was named Spring Court, and that just makes me think of that. There you go. Now it's not trying to focus on my face. So I thought that this little thing was so cute. I had to make it, and I actually made it out of cotton. I don't use cotton very often, but I was like, you know what? I feel like for some reason I need to make this out of cotton. So I'm going to show you guys some little clips that I took in the process of making it. Boom. So I don't use cotton very often, and I thought it would be different and fun to do cotton this time. So I'm using this milk cotton, DHFZ. It doesn't really have a whole lot of information. I think that it's about a 3 weight. So I'm going to use it with some other 3 weights. I think I got this from Temu, if I remember right. And it is 50 grams. Then I'm using it with some of this Sugar Wheel Cotton Solid in minty. I've used this for something else probably several times. I don't remember what, but I loved this color. I was so excited to get my hands on some of this in the Hobby Lobby clearance. I think last year, because I normally never can catch any of these like normal yarns in the clearance. They're always gone before I get there. And then I'm going to use this Bernat Softy cotton, which is also a 3 weight. It's in the colorway of Fuchsia. And this is a Sugar Wheel Cotton spun sparkly one. and it is in the colorway of Pretties Please. As you guys know, if you've been around for a while, I have like little scraps of this. I've actually used up most of my little scraps of this, but I had a lot of it because I was making a cardigan out of it, and then I changed my plans for my cardigan and ended up doing something totally different, which I did still end up using a lot of this in it, but you know, still ended up with some. So I think that these colors will make a cute chicken. And then I've got a little progress update. This is what the squares came out looking like. I used a 2.75 millimeter hook with roughly 3-weight yarns. Most of them said 3-weight yarns. There's a lot of tails on these. But like I said, I'm just kind of guessing for that milk cotton. Here's my little hook, so you can see the size I'm using. Since this is going to be for an amigurumi, I wanted to use a smaller hook. And there you have it. Those are the clips. So I decided to make this out of cotton, and I went with these kind of longer kawaii eyes. They are oval shapes. The eyes really did bug me, by the way. So you place the eyes in what would be like the corner of the granny squares where there's like the little gaps. The corner of the granny squares is not the best place to put safety eyes. So I was having troubles with them wanting to stay. I did end up going through and like reinforcing it with sewing. I sewed it in the same color that I crocheted in. And I sewed all around the eyes to kind of secure them in. And then I also kind of sewed back and forth a little bit to cinch it in. Just so that, I don't know, I just thought it looked better that the eyes would sit like flat, like eyes should sit. And I think it looks cuter now. And then I did go around and sew some of the holes shut a little bit while I was like weaving in my tails. You'll notice that like the corner of the granny square holes right here don't show, or on top right here. These front ones do, but they have yarn scraps in front of them. I stuffed it with polyfill, but there are also lots of yarn tails in this project, and I just left really long tails on everything and left it in. And I did that intentionally because then it would, if it showed through, you would see that. Oh, and I threw a couple of glass beads into the front of it to keep it leaning forward a little because it was wanting to do this. And I wanted it to lean forward a little bit. That's the only good thing about there being these two holes up front. I was able to slide the glass beads in through the holes after I finished it. But right now I currently have it sitting on another spring make that I finished and haven't showed you guys yet. I finished this like last week, I think, but it is a giant flower and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So I was like, kind of looks like a little nest, like a little pink spring nest. But actually, if you guys have any ideas, I would love to hear what you think I should do with this. I made this big flower and it's like an applique. It's flat on the back. But it's pretty big if you want some size reference. Here's it on my palm. It's about the same size as my palm. So it's a pretty big flower. But I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with it yet. And I want to try making some smaller versions of it. But here's what that looks like. And it's got some like ombre effect going because the first round I did in this darker pink. And then the second round I did in the lighter pink. So it's got like, I don't know, I love it because it almost kind of gives the effect of like shadows. Like it's like shadowed towards the bottom. I don't want to say the roots, but like the bottom of the petals. I don't know, I feel like it gives it like a touch of realism. That it has like the darker pink at the bottom of the stitches. I don't know if you guys can really tell on the camera. I'm not sure. I need to weave in my tails. This one I just stuck through the middle. So there's one here in the middle. And then there's also one on the back where I finished off. But yeah, here are two spring makes. I've got a flower and I've got a spring chicken, aka the granny square chicken. I thought this was too cute. I had to make it. I thought it was so fun. Like I said, they do have a pattern and a tutorial. So if you follow the pattern and you need a video tutorial, you can refer to it, or if you just prefer video tutorials. I will link it in the description box below, by the way. I just realized I forgot to say that. For my last spring make to show you guys in this video, I mostly made these things over the weekend and like the beginning of this week. I made this cute little bunny. It has no features, I shouldn't say it has no features. Obviously it has ears and legs and a tail, but it has no face. I actually made this. This is a no-sew pattern. I actually made this with Shannon, the Spoony Stitcher, her Bitty Bunny pattern that she posted on Instagram. It's actually made out of worsted weight yarn, the way that she did it, and it can like fit in an Easter egg. So it'd be great for if you're like looking to make things to go in Easter eggs for like Easter egg hunting or in Easter baskets. But I saw it and I was like, oh, I bet this would be so cute out of blanket yarn. And I felt like using a big hook and just making something that I stuffed very lightly just so it'd be squishy. And I thought this would be perfect for like little kids. You know, it doesn't have any safety eyes or anything. Actually, none of it is sewn on. You do all of this stuff as you're going. So you work these ears on as you're going, you work the legs on as you're going, and you work the tail on as you're going, and then you just weave in your tail back here, your yarn tail. You weave it all in real good. But there's nothing that they could pull out. No stitches could be, or no sewing could be pulled out, you know, so like there's not things that they could tug on until they come off. And it's just like a very squishy, cuddly project. Cause like I said, I didn't stuff it, very much. I wanted it to stay soft. If you stuff things really firmly, which is how I normally stuff, things hold their shape nicer. It fills it out really well. Which is great for like when you're making worsted weight, plushies, when you're making things with more details, things like that. But I thought that this project made out of like a nice big hook and a nice blanket yarn, which by the way, this is sparkly. I don't know if you guys can tell. Oh yeah, you can tell. I thought that having it be like a squishier plushie, that would be good for cuddling, maybe even laying your head on, you know, when you're napping, snuggling up to it. I thought it'd be cute. So I loved that it was a no-sew. I always love a good no-sew, especially for blanket yarn. I think it's just a really nice combination to be able to like work the legs in as bobbles and stuff, because these types of legs, especially in blanket yarn, they translate really well as legs. So I'm really, really happy with that. I think it came out so cute. And like I said, I think this would be a good project for littles. This is Bernat Baby Blanket Sparkle in the colorway of Golden Sparkle. I forgot that I left this sitting here to show you guys. So that's what the yarn that I used is. And believe it or not, I actually used a 10mm hook. I have a really nice 10mm hook that is a Hobby Lobby hook. It's the only Hobby Lobby hook, the bamboo handled ones. It's the only one that I like because it's thick. The other Hobby Lobby hooks, the bamboo handled ones, the handles don't go up the shaft of the hook far enough, so I don't care for them. But I love this 10mm, and it's been like my favorite hook pretty much forever. So I love to use it with blanket yarn, and technically it makes looser stitches, so like I should use an 8mm or maybe even a 6mm. And I do sometimes if I'm wanting it to be a tighter stitch with blanket yarn, but I wanted this to be a loose, squishy stitch. So I use that 10mm. And I love how it came out. Are there any other yarns here that I needed to show you guys? No. Okay. I showed you guys the spring chicken yarns in my little clip where I talked about what I was using. And then this one, I actually don't know anything about what yarn I'm using for it. It was a secondhand yarn that came from like a, I don't know, garage sale or a thrift store or something. And that I wasn't even the one who bought it. My mother-in-law bought it for me, cause it was like $1 or $2. And she was like, hey, here, have this. So, I've been using it. It kind of looks like a sugar wheel cotton spun from, Hobby Lobby, but I don't think it is, but that's what it reminds me of. The sparkly ones. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is also sparkly. Have a thing for sparkles. Anyways, guys, these are my 3 spring makes today. I hope you guys enjoyed my little Eastery, springy collection today. And then also don't forget that I did make a bunny already on my channel. So if you're interested in seeing a different bunny, it's actually this one right here. head over to my channel and check it out. You'll see it in the thumbnail. But I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. I hope that you get some good quality crafting time in, as Manfa would say over at Manfa's Makes. And I will see you guys around the YouTube streets. I have to like finish it out. I think I could actually say her whole outro, but I'm not going to steal her whole outro. Anyways, guys, I hope you have a beautiful day. I will see you again real soon. Bye, guys.